Oh, I ran into today. I ran into the card guy, the Magic the Gathering card guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm walking into work. Today was
podcast.
Yeah, he's like
I'm
episode 7, huh?
What am I excited for? Like position
Yeah,
battle
what?
wise?
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
gets the tingles going down low.
Yeah, what's
There's quite a few things that as I've gotten older, there's just more things.
disturbing and more things.
Adult things.
So getting into today's episode in regards to actual sports. Marcus Sasser dropped 40 points in the last summer league game, 64% from the field, 55% from three. Just went off. No one really played. I think he was the only one that of note that played. How do you guys feel about him going into, well, soon to be preseason season? You think he stays with Detroit? Do you think he goes down to the G League for a little bit? What are your thoughts? And we got the trade deadline coming up, which I think is on your birthday, if I'm correct.
Always is.
I did see something came up in my notifications of whether the Tigers should buy or sell.
And Kelvin Shepard has been saying that Derek Barnes looks like a completely different player this year than he has in the past, and that they constantly see growth in him. I mean, it does seem like he seems to get a little bit better every year, but I mean, I think he's going to end up being the odd man out on that. And then Jack Campbell, I mean, we haven't seen him play other than in college, obviously. I mean, dude's 6'5", 245. I mean, and you can't teach that. You know what I'm saying? You can't teach that.
Love it.
First one we got today is a McDonald's hash brown or Burger King tots.
Yeah, I'm a quantity over quality guy.
Yeah.
Give me a lot of bad.
If you've ever seen me stand up on this webcam, you'll notice that I like quantity over quality.
I can get 8 Whopper Juniors for 2 Big Macs. What do you think I'm going to do?
So next one we got.
Clearly.
If you could pick one for your football team, Shane Falco or Willie Beeman? All right, next one. Would you rather win the Royal Rumble or win the Money in the Bank briefcase?
Like as a fan or as like a wrestler?
As a fan, they're probably gonna beat you up and tell you.
Like in the mindset, I'm talking mindset wise. Like, am I in the mindset of a wrestler or am I in the mindset of like a fan?
All right, last one. And what I have here
let me get one in after you do.
Okay. All right. Would you rather be homeless or would you rather go to prison?
I was looking at BD Sports Talk Podcast on TikTok, and the Cade Cunningham video came up. Yeah, give it a follow. And I thought this would be kind of funny, and I still haven't even come up with an answer myself. So play 1v1 against Cade in a full arena while it being broadcast on ESPN, while you're also skins to 21 with only 1-pointers. Okay, and if 1-pointers.
That's rough.
Even if you hits a 3, it's still 1 point at a time. And if there's if the ref decides you're not playing as hard as you can, you have to start over. So you have to play hard the whole time. 1-on-1, no shirt against Cade in front of the nation. Or you have a full gallery at Augusta, also nationally televised, and you have to play 18, and you're the only one playing, but everybody watches every shot that you play at Augusta. from start to finish.
Welcome to episode 9 of the BDE Sports Talk podcast. My name is Bill, one of your co-hosts, one of 3 brothers who are also my co-hosts, Dean and Eddie. Fellas, how are you doing tonight?
We got one of 3 legends, King. No cap, son. Doing good.
I'm a brother of one of the 3 brothers, the aforementioned 3.
I feel like I
brothers.
say the same thing every single night.
I like how you're mixing it up. You got a little something going tonight, Bill. You know,
I'm feeling sassy.
love it. Oh, look at that!
Sassy. Oh,
It sounds like I felt regal.
Love it. I'm doing way
old-fashioned.
better now after your intro than I was before. Killed it. Yeah.
Awesome. So you guys are doing good. Once again, thank you for asking. I'm doing great.
Hey,
we don't
Bill, how the hell are you? As one of the 3 of 3 brothers from the Shire of 3 brothers.
I'm doing good. Before we get started, just want to say thank you to everybody watching today's episode. And
I thought we
who
got
has
started.
watched our episodes. Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Who have watched our previous episodes. We appreciate it. If you like today's episode, please feel free to hit the like button, comment with any comments or questions you have. Always love to interact with you. And I think I hit subscribe, right? Nope, not yet. Smash that subscribe button.
Whoa.
You
That's
got
an
me.
intense finger in our viewer's face. Holy cow.
Feeling
Sold,
sassy.
baby.
Feeling
Sold.
sassy.
And the poor ears of the folks on Spotify. They couldn't see that finger, but it was pointed right in your earballs. Oh my gosh. Here we go.
So thank you, and we do appreciate the support. So with that said,
Heck yeah.
Eduardo, what did you do this weekend?
What did I do?
What did you do?
I didn't think you'd ask. Honestly, not a whole lot. I do have a couple things though. Shockingly. I didn't do a lot. I hung out. So Monday, I've been having Mondays most working from home, kind of a nice perk of the summer. And so like hang out, and then later in the day I took the kids out to a local like little park. It's not really a park, it's more like a basketball court with like a toddler play area more than anything. But we're able to use the other area because I set it up like, hey, this is an obstacle course. That is not part of this at all. But we were on the basketball court playing pig against my 3 kids. All right. Gets down to me and my youngest boy. And I don't know if he'll take this personally or not.
You swatted him.
So we were down. I let him win, as I will do sometimes. Let them, get a victory in there. Whatever. But as soon as I won, you wouldn't believe this, but he started talking trash. Chip off the old block, right? So he's talking trash, like, so I every time they lose, we shake hands, be like, all right, good game, whatever. And I shake his hand and he goes, good game. How's it feel to be the loser to whoever? And like he just keeps saying stuff. And I'm like, we're playing again. I was like, and you're the first one out. I was like, you're shooting after me. You're gonna be the first one out. But he accepts the challenge. Okay. He's feeling pretty good because he just won.
Mm-hmm.
And so he accepts the challenge. and he hits every time he makes a shot. He's like looking at me, like giving me that like, yeah. And you know, for his age, he shoots pretty good ball, dude.
Yeah.
You know, he loves sports, so he's like into it. But I'm like, dude, you're going out soon. Like I'm gonna start, like I'm hitting shots in his range. Like I'm not going like out to the 3-point line and drilling him, okay? Like I'm not doing that to the kid, like where he has no chance. But I'm putting it in his range. I'm just like, if I make enough, it's just gonna happen. And so he gets down. He starts talking. He's still talking trash, even though he's at P with a dotted I. And I'm like, I think we were getting down. I had the ball, and I'm like, you might as well start walking to the card because your turn's about up. You know, like, because now I'm starting to get into it too. I'm like, this kid, man, he's talking all this smack. And so I drill it. I drill the shot. He misses. He's the first one out. But then I started feeling really guilty because then he's like sad now.
We get it at the same time.
So I had to turn it into like a learning moment situation. You know, gracious winners, gracious losers. It's okay to lose, especially when nothing's on the line. You know, like we're just playing a game out here. Yeah. But it felt good to win, I'll tell you that. Because I took out the other two kids shortly after.
Light work.
I ran into today I ran into the card guy, the Magic the Gathering card guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm walking into work. Today was
yeah, he's like episode 7, huh?
I didn't mean to run into him. So, well, obviously, but today was like the farmers market up at the Capitol. Like twice a year they do a Capitol thing. And a person that was in my class in high school is like high up in the like Farmers Market Association of Michigan. I think she runs it. I saw her like when I was about to cross the road to go into my building. I saw her like 6-7 booths down. I'm like, I should just go say, hey, what's up real quick. Bill would know her. Amanda Seeger.
Mm-hmm.
Dean, you probably wouldn't, but
the name sounds familiar, but
yeah. And so it was just like, hey, what's up? Good to see you. And then I rolled out. Yeah, dude. They're good folks.
Yeah, they're
good folks. The Seegers are good folks. And so and as I was walking back, I was he was in line for some kettle corn or something, and I didn't realize it, and he just like looks at me. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? You know, all right, you know, it was donuts. I was like getting those fresh donuts, you know, and he was like, yeah, okay. And then I kept going. By the time I got back into the building, I'm in the elevator, and then he's like heading towards the elevator, but it looked like he was going to deviate, but I put my hand out to stop the elevator door from closing.
You're getting on this ride.
Yeah. So he got on. He gets on, and he's like, you know, he's a nice guy. Whatever.
Yeah. How's the weather?
Yeah.
No, I did not get into weather at all. I was like, did you get any sweet pulls? Did you pull any? He's like, huh? And I'm like, you know, Magic the Gathering, you know, that Lord of the Rings pack.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, did you get any sweet pulls out of that? And he actually got excited. Yeah, he goes, oh, I made my money back. I didn't get anything. And I brought up the Order of the Ring card. I was like, dude, I was hoping, you know, maybe you pulled that. I was like, we'd be closer friends, you know, that kind of thing. And that the part of the story that makes me sad, because I'm glad I got to say hey. And I'm like smiling, laughing. The elevator, he goes one floor higher than I do. As the elevator door is closing, he's like smiling. And right before it closes, you see the smile just go. And the door closes. I'm like.
He's like, I've been listening.
Like, was that just like.
At you?
No.
Like, So it wasn't like the elevator door was closing. He's like looking at you. He's just like,
No, because I was kind of walking away. I just kind of glanced back as like we were saying our last, like, oh, okay,
yeah, so-
whatever.
all right,
Yeah. I mean, I do the same thing too.
right.
Yeah.
But
Everyone
like
does.
there was I don't know, to me it felt different because of whatever. The whole thing. One thing I wanted to ask you guys, have you been watching the Quarterback Show on Netflix?
I haven't gotten to it yet.
You guys haven't?
No,
Oh,
I heard it's
good,
really
dude.
good.
It is. It is good. I wanted to bring up Captain Kirk, who's on there. And so I don't want to give up a lot of spoilers, okay? But like you'll hear a little bit of this in episode 2, but this freaking guy, dude, you get to episode 3, or somewhere in there. I'm not sure what episode I'm on, but it's somewhere in that area where like most of his portion of the episode, because they're like in season now, like they're fully in games, is mostly just him making a lot of painful noises. Like it's just you'll know when you watch the show, and especially now that you'll be thinking about it, it's mostly him like like pretty much after every time he comes off the field, because he gets nailed all the time.
Yeah.
It's just all the time, like he's in serious freaking pain, like all the time. And in my head, I'm like, I wonder if he just really enjoys it. Because he doesn't shy away. Like he just stands in the pocket. Like I'm just
mil make you enjoy it. That's for sure.
Well, sure. But like, dude, you just listen. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is like a torture scenario. Because like all the time, he's just like, like all the time. It's like all the time. And Kirk Cousins is exactly who you think he is. Like 100% who you think he is. Even you, like, I'm not just saying as a State fan, whatever you think of Kirk Cousins, that is pretty much who he is. He reminds me of like a dude who just found him, like one of the guys in like your high school who's like super athletic, like a really good quarterback from high school, like really good, but just found themselves in the right circumstances, right situations, and it like just made it somehow. But like, you know, he obviously is incredibly talented. But like the dude at any time, like he does all this crazy stuff, like to keep himself at top of the game. Like he's got like this thing, you'll see it, like he does like this electrodes thing to his brain during the week. He does full body ice baths like every day. Like he's always at any given time, there's like 2 old white people working on his body, like just like contorting him to like try and loosen him up or whatever. Like I'm like, this is no joke. I'm like, in another room, he's probably got like a freaking shaman and a tarot card reader. I mean, the guy is like, you'll see it when you watch it, you'll be like, yeah, he probably does. Because like the guy is doing everything possible to make sure he can keep playing football. But you're like, dude, at some point, I don't know, man.
A few years left anyway.
I mean, dude, you just have to see it. It's much better if you had seen it. But I've been enamored with watching episodes of that show, not just because of him, but also like I get a little more worried about week 1. Because like Patrick Mahomes is obviously that dude,
right?
And like we don't. I mean, I don't watch any Chiefs stuff at all, other than when they have a game on prime time or during the Super Bowl, whatever. You're like, I mean, you're like, yeah. Like Jared Goff isn't Patrick Mahomes, man. I mean,
no.
Clearly,
like it's I don't know. It's a really good watch for a football fan. It's a good watch. And then you have Marcus Mariota, but you know that's also what you would expect. They're all kind of what you would expect.
Mahomes is on a different level than everybody else.
Dude, maybe if his brother wasn't holding him back.
Maybe. His brother's got his own problems right now.
Yeah.
What a
Yikes.
douche. What a freaking douche.
But
But yeah, dude. Kirk is, to me, and because I'm a State fan too, is probably the more interesting person to watch. But he's also so incredibly white. Just, I mean, if that's what you thought about Kirk, you nailed it. You know, like, I think
Well,
that's what
yeah.
people would think about him before going into it. And he just
This
lives up to it
salt
in
is
like all
spicy.
aspects of his life.
Did you put the black
Yeah,
pepper in there?
Oh, is this salsa without corn? I mean, geez.
Oh, jeez.
They kicked it up.
I don't mind Kirk Cousins. I mean, the only reason why I really don't like him is because he's Minnesota's quarterback. But when he was in Washington, I really didn't.
Yeah,
Well, sure, when he was in Washington. What about when he was at State and went undefeated against Michigan?
I'm over it.
I like
yeah.
that too.
Big
I
Ten
enjoyed that.
champions, Big Ten championships will do that to a person.
Yeah, I mean, later on. Oh, okay. Last little bit here. I just heard this today. What's up with freaking Hunter Dickinson, dude? Like, what's that guy's deal? Why is he's gone now? Why is he still talking trash? Like, he's the biggest troll in college sports.
But he's always kind of been like that.
No, I'm saying, I don't know what, like, why is he, like, there was a thing released where it was like, he was talking about, which doesn't make any sense, how he had a better career than Cassius Winston. Like, one, I don't think that makes sense. Two, why are you even comparing yourself to Cassius Winston when you guys didn't even play during the same years?
Right.
Like, why just to troll?
Probably.
Like, I mean, he knows how to get attention for himself.
Right.
But I'm like, dude, you're in Kansas now. You didn't even play against, you want to compare it to, like, I don't know, Matty Sissoko? Yeah, you had a better career than that guy. You know, I don't know. Like, why are you going after Cassius? Like, I don't even feel like maybe you could explain it to me too, Bill. Like, did Michigan fans really hate Cassius Winston? I mean, other than he played well against Michigan, like, he's kind of like to me, now, as a very biased State fan, like a very fun-loving, basketball-loving kid who's just good at playing basketball.
Personally, I never had a problem with him.
Yeah.
It's not like he's outgo. You know what I mean? It's not like he was like an outgoing, like Hunter Dickinson type of person who every time he would put up a putback layup, he's flexing. You know, I mean,
yeah.
Cassius just went about his thing. I like Cassius Winston more than Tom Izzo.
Well, sure. I just didn't get it.
Yeah, like, that doesn't.
Why are you doing that? Like, go after somebody in the Big 12. I don't know. Like, why are you talking about a guy you never even played against? I mean,
that's weird. Yeah. I know. I didn't see that. Of course, he's gone. So,
I mean, whatever. I just
it
came across my radar because I get State stuff and I listen to Lansing Sports Radio and things like that. So I'm like,
that is a weird.
Well, that's freaking weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway.
So it's quite the weekend.
It wasn't a weekend. It was mostly just other stuff. It was just other stuff.
Dean, how's your weekend?
It was all right. I didn't play as terrible golf as normal this weekend.
No.
Oh, boo.
I was there.
That's your thing.
Shot a 96. Wasn't bad.
Hey, there you
Pretty
go.
Good. It's like 20 strokes under my average. So it's not bad. That's pretty close. It's about 18.
I don't know if it was because I was there, but
I don't know. I was on one.
Were you coaching him every shot?
no, it got to a point where I was like, I ain't telling you nothing.
It makes me worse when people try to.
Oh, dude.
I get frustrated quicker.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I just hung out. Just another normal, lazy weekend for old Dean here. A barrel of fun. Just a barrel of fun, excitement. Not
He's
quite
like,
the weekend you had.
Me?
No, well, either one of you. Really,
Oh,
I guess.
yeah. No, I played golf with you Friday, and I played absolutely terrible golf Saturday. And then we had a family reunion on Saturday with Kate's parents and her mom's side of the family. That was fun. That was a good time. We did some Charlie birthday stuff. My daughter's birthday was this weekend. But yeah, we went to which actually, now that we're going to talk about it a little bit, we went to Craig's Cruisers in Grand Rapids on Sunday. Previous to that, we went to Build-A-Bear, which I'm going to go on a little rant for a second. So at Build-A-Bear, you can get a bear that says like it's like happy birthday. It's a birthday bear for the age that you are. So it was $6 for Char because she just turned 6. There are $40 stuffed animals in that place. $40.
Oh,
Couldn't believe it.
They're very luxurious.
Yeah. It's not just a teddy bear, Bill. It's a Build-A-Bear.
That's Italian silk.
It's not Italian silk.
That's Italian silk. And you get to stuff it yourself. You get to do all the work. It's fun.
Yeah,
they do
that's
it.
mother flipping polyester, motherfucker.
Oh,
They do
they shove the pipe up the teddy bear.
Yeah.
You don't get to do that.
No. So
It's $40 just to watch.
yeah, it's $40 to get the bear, and then or whatever. I mean, there's obviously cheaper ones, but like,
what if you want to get stuff? How much for that? How much for a hug?
a hug in one of those scents. I'd like a hug, and I'd like to smell like cotton candy, please.
Yeah.
How much does that run me? So it's $40 for some of these, and then like if you want to have it have a sound, it's another $9. If you want to give it a scent, it's another $6. So now you're running at like upwards of $50. That is insane.
It's crazy.
It's a Build-A-Bear.
You can go to Meijer and get one for $12.99.
You can take the stuffing out and put it right back in, dude.
Can I just buy the bear?
Like, I'll
skin
sew
from
it, too.
Build-A-Bear? How much?
I'll sew it back
I'll
up.
sew
I mean, what
it
do you want?
That's crazy.
I've sold some stuffed animals. I freaking do it.
Oh, not me. I mean, I could do it, but I've never sewn a stuffed animal.
Yeah, done some serious repairs. Doc McStuffins.
Mm.
Checking in.
So then we went to Craig's Cruisers. And they have an outdoor go-kart track. And I wasn't even going to bring this up, but now that I've thought about it, like at the end, you get the one more lap, and then they can control it so that everyone slows down. So they have what they call rookie carts for like kids that are just tall enough to start, and they come around, and this kid is where I'm sitting there watching. This kid's wrecked twice. He comes in to where you pull in to be done, completely misses and smokes the guardrail.
Oh,
He wasn't the last one. Immediately he got blown into from behind.
Gross. How old was this kid to get blown into from
that's-
behind? Come on, William.
Come
from
on.
behind.
Come on, dude. You're
This
disgusting.
is a family podcast.
There's
Is
an
it?
E on Spotify.
Yeah, there's a one episode.
So he gets blown into from behind.
He gets smoked. He gets smoked from behind, and everyone.
I don't-
We have to cut this.
Fire.
Yeah, double fire.
Double fire.
He gets
And-
motorboated from behind.
And everyone in the line just goes, "Oh!" And then, like half of us were laughing. But
Oh man,
man,
that's rough though.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, you see that go down, you're like, oh, oh man, come on.
in front of everybody too.
Yeah.
Release the child, would you?
So yeah, that was my weekend. So
Sounds good.
it was, yeah, it was.
That sounds fun, man. Yeah. Frank's Cruiser's a good time.
Yeah, especially if you get the wristband with the buffet.
Oh, still, dude. Well, you know how many I got to bring a bunch of folks up when I go, so it's incredibly expensive. But
Right.
you might as well do the buffet, and I definitely got my money's worth out of that when I went.
Yeah, me
Ain't
too.
messing around with that.
Got to get
And
your
it-
money back somehow.
And everyone goes for the cheese breadsticks every time. So
Dude,
then
I just stood there and waited for them to bring the fresh batch, and then I took all
I
of
did
them.
that one time.
I took all of them. People
All of
waiting
them?
behind me. I took the whole batch
You did not.
and brought them back to the table.
You just took. You're like, thank you.
I
Take
thought,
the
dude, I thought a guy was gonna fight me.
Probably.
I'm just kidding. That didn't happen. But I want to do that next time, and we should record that. That's great content.
It's great content. Yeah.
So, so getting into today's episode in regards to actual sports, Marcus Sasser dropped 40 points in the last summer league game, 64% from the field, 55% from three. Just went off. No one really played. I think he was the only one that of note that played. How do you guys feel about him going into, well, soon to be preseason season? You think he stays with Detroit? Do you think he goes down to the G League for a little bit? What are your thoughts?
I think he stays in Detroit. I don't think they let him go. I think he showed quite a bit in the summer league and showed that he could carry the team. I mean, given it's summer league guys, but these are guys he should play well against if he's going to make it in the league. I mean, he really showed out. I mean, especially that last game. I mean, he had to because I mean, was Roden gonna drop 30 points? Probably not. Simpson, is he gonna make the team? I mean, no. So I mean, yeah, I think he makes it, and they move on with that, and then try to build around that with Ivy and Ossar and Caden and Sasser. I could see him being kind of like a more offensive Marcus Smart type of guy, where he could come off the bench and be solid, at least for the first few years of his career. And I think it could work out. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. Sasser's looking good.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. It's summer league, but he set the high mark. So if you're going to be doing that in summer league, because a lot of the rookies, the top end rookies, a lot of them are looking good in summer league, and you usually see that because they're better than most of the other guys that are playing in summer league.
Right.
But to go above and beyond like that, if you're shooting 55% from three, I mean, that's just what you're doing. It's not like,
Yeah.
you're getting free throws. You're hitting over half your 3-point shots. So you got to love that. I mean, that was something highlighted when we talked about after he got drafted. Looking forward, he definitely makes the team. I mean, you're talking, it's a 15-man roster. Right now, if I was, I wrote down who I thought, if we go depth, obviously your top five, Cade, Ivy, Thompson, Bojan, and then either Duren or Wiseman. I'm still not sure which way they're going to go on that. Either way, that guy's coming in pretty quickly after, right? After that, you have Monty Morris and Sasser, Alec Burks and Sasser, Joe Harris, Livers, Beef Stewer Livers. We're talking, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. Right. And then Duren or Wiseman comes in after that with Bagley. And so that's 13 players right there, and 2 more roster spots. So you got Killian Hayes, Malcolm Casalone, and basically Jared Rhoden, I think, who are your main guys who might make it. So there's pretty much one odd man out, and it might be Rhoden. I don't think it should be, but Hayes and Casalone are both French, and maybe they think that could help Killian in some way if they still got hope in that guy. But I personally, you guys know where I'm at with Killian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a total bust of a pick so far. He at least needs a change of scenery. It's not happening here, and obviously they don't believe in him that much. You bring in the Count of Monte Assisto and frickin' Sasser. You pick up Burks' option. I don't know where Killian's getting his minutes unless Cade and Ivy are both hurt. He would have to do something incredible.
Right.
And he just have not seen anything like that from him. I've talked about it before. When I watch, I think I pay a lot more attention to Killian because of just the general dissatisfaction I've had with his game being the pick that he was. And especially being Troy Weaver's first pick, because I felt really good about that draft when it happened. And it's rough to watch. And so I think he should be the guy they cut, honestly. But I think they just invested such a high pick, and maybe they could trade him somewhere that he's not going to go G League. I mean, maybe they should do that. Put him in the G League, see if he can get something going. But he should have at least been playing more in the summer league. I don't know what he's got going on, but it's not working. So,
and I don't know. I don't know if he can go down to the G League. I don't know how contract. I think it's got to be like a 2-way contract.
Oh, sure.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think Sasser is going to be with the team. I think he may. I mean, we'll see, right? But if you base it off way too early summer league games,
right.
he could. I'd be comfortable with him logging pretty good minutes. So,
yeah, I think, after we talked about the draft, as I said, you guys agreed and highlighted, it was like Sasser felt like a pick that should be a significant contributor. He just has what they're looking for. I mean, he's a solid backup rookie and who could transform into a very solid starter.
Yeah.
Or more. I mean, he's just got the game for it. So, I mean, if it, like any of these guys, right? They're all incredibly talented. Even the guys that might get cut are just insanely talented.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's the guys who have that little something extra that make the difference. And Sasser feels that way a little. I can't say I feel confident that he's going to be, Chris Paul or something.
Right.
He just has that. He's going to be on a roster for a long time, I think.
Yeah.
He'll be a legitimate NBA player for sure.
No doubt.
I think.
No doubt.
Yeah. So if you right now, I mean, there'll be a lot of time, but if you had your starting five right now, who would it be?
I mean, I just said mine. I mean, basically Cade, Ivy, Thompson, Bojan, and I personally like Duran more, maybe because he's just a younger guy. He got drafted to us, but Wiseman. I get if I'm just picking mine, then I'm going Duran.
Yeah. I would say mine. Obviously, it's Cade, Ivy, Asar, then Bojan. But so it really comes down to who's your center, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be beef stew, baby. Get the pot cooking. You know what I'm saying?
Get out of here, man! Come on,
time
come
to
on.
stir. It's time to stir the stew.
Get Mason on the frickin' intros.
Yeah. It's time to meet and greet.
Stew.
I like Duran, but I mean, you can't go wrong. I would probably go Wiseman just right now, but I mean, either way, I mean, they're both pretty similar players in a general sense.
I mean, I think you agree. At that point, you trust whatever Monty Williams is thinking.
Yeah,
because you're getting pretty similar stuff from both guys.
Yeah,
for me, I would say to start the season, I would probably go Cade, Ivy, Bojan, and maybe Wiseman and Duran. Yeah. Or Asar. I mean, they played well together in summer league too. I know it's summer league, but you're also basing this off of.
I think if you're gonna do that, you at that point, honestly, you might as well throw beef stew in at 4. I think you just get different options on the floor because Duran and Wiseman are giving you the same type of thing, and so
you're saying beef stew is better than Duran and Wiseman, huh? You really turned a leaf on beef stew.
That's amazing.
Well, he signed that contract, and I feel good about that. No, I'm not saying. I'm obviously not saying he's better than Duran.
Sounds like you're sticking him in the starting lineup.
If we're talking about your starting lineup that you projected, I would rather have beef stew in at the 4 than Duran or Wiseman, and then have Duran or Wiseman come in to replace each other in that 5 role. And beef stew can do what he's doing. I mean, beef stew plays better defense than the other guys I'm looking at. Like Isaiah Livers, he just plays better D than those guys, and he provides marginally close offense.
And he's developing a 3-point shot.
Okay, he's still working on his shot, baby. I mean,
he's still working on that 3-point.
The stew is in the works.
He's chopping onions right now, baby.
If you're gonna do that, you might as well throw Joe Harris in it. I'd rather no, never mind. I don't mean that.
I was like, man, that's a
never mind. Or Bagley. You could put Bagley in there at 4. I still would. That honestly, beef stew makes more sense to me than Bagley or another option. Of what we got currently, what we're looking at. If you're gonna run Bojan at 3 and move Asar to the bench, beef stew is probably your number. Yeah, to start the season, then beef is probably your 4.
I mean, but I have read where that's why they had playing together so that they could, and I don't think it's starting lineup. I just said that to kind of throw a wrench in.
If that's what they do, that's cool because Monty Williams has probably forgotten more about basketball than I'll ever know. So it's like, if that's what he thinks, then sure.
But. No, I don't think it'll be a starting lineup. I think it'll be at some point that will be their big lineup, and they'll have both of them out there at the same time. And they played well together,
Sure. Oh, yeah, I could see it in certain. Yeah. I mean, at certain times, yeah.
But I think the opening day lineup will be what you said, and I think it'll be Duran.
Yeah.
So, but if it like you said, if it was Wiseman, it wouldn't it wouldn't bother me either. So yeah, we'll kind of, I guess, keep track of that as it comes along. Moving forward, we can get into some LTs, and we got the trade deadline coming up, which I think is on your birthday, if I'm correct.
Always is.
Always is. I did see something came up in my notifications of whether the Tigers should buy or sell, which is still a question.
Why don't you kick us off on that, Bill?
Me?
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I've been kind of going back and forth with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. To me, there's really not a definitive answer because
Miggy's getting hot, baby.
As of right now, I think they're 6 games back.
Oof. 6.
Is it 6? I think it's 6.
I thought it was, last I saw, I thought it was 5, but it could have been, it could be 6. Might have even been 5.5. I mean,
as of
honestly.
right now, I'm pulling it up right now. It's 5 now. It's 5 now. And this goes back to what you talked about, I think 3 weeks ago, maybe, and them not being a true contender. I mean, I'd like them to buy.
It's more exciting.
More it's more exciting. And then there's just I've ever since I wrote this down, I have not been able to come up with a definitive answer. I think they're going to buy. I think they are.
Sell the farm, baby. Bring him home.
Ohtani?
Yeah.
Bring him home,
baby. Bring him home. Come home.
Here's the thing with Ohtani, right?
Give him the 15-year deal.
Not to stray too far, but the thing with Ohtani, with the projections that they say he's going to get, I don't think any small to mid-sized market is going to be able to afford him.
No, he'll be a Yankee next year, probably. Or a Red Sox. One or two. Maybe a Dodger. Could be a Dodger.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Marlin?
It'd be sweet to have him in Detroit, but I just don't.
That would be so awesome.
I don't see it happening.
It's not going to happen. They don't even think they probably have stuff to give, but Ohtani's not going to. Even if they got him, they better hope they win the World Series because he's not staying. You know what I mean? Well, he's not re-signed. He's not inking a contract.
That contract is going to be. It's not going to be. It's
going to be like a $600 million contract.
It's probably going to be like 10
Very
years.
Well could be.
I mean, if you bat and pitch like that, I mean, he's once in a lifetime.
We're probably better off without it. Not short term, but long term.
Right.
Because you're going to have to give him all of it.
Yeah.
No. And we'll end up in the same spot we're at now with Miggy, honestly. Probably with more years of poor production than we got with Miggy. I'm going to guess. But who knows,
on
dude?
Both ends of the baseball.
Yeah.
At some point, you just have him stop pitching.
Right.
You know?
Then he's just DH and he gets fat.
Just DH.
he's dreading out his hair. He gets a corner.
Trot him out there. Yeah.
And let him do his waves.
Yeah, oh, there you go.
There's old Tani right there. Giving his tribute run here.
So to answer your question, I think they're gonna somewhat buy. I don't know how much buying they're gonna do. I don't know how much. I think the most likely thing that's going to happen is nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
Unless
Roll
they're
the
looking
dice.
in. I mean, it'd be kind of sweet for them to get rid of Baez. I don't think they can do it. You know, I've seen reports of them trying to get rid of Lorenzen while his stock's a little high, I guess. You know, I just I think what's going to happen is nothing's going to happen.
So
And
neutral line, essentially.
But yeah, I want them to buy.
Yeah.
But you know, that's what I think is going to happen. But if you were to ask me what I want is I want them to buy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think nothing's going to happen. I think it's going to just come and go. And that might not be a bad thing either. You know what I mean? Like you got a young core out there. You got Torkelson, Riley Green's back, Badou's back, Matt Manning's back. You know what I mean? And you just ride it out and see what happens. I mean, like you said a few weeks ago, even if they win the division, yeah, I mean, awesome. They win the Central. You know what I mean? But what are the chances of them really doing something in the playoffs with what you've seen this season? You know?
Out in the wild card, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Which
Unless they bought a couple bats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because the pitching could be good.
Yeah.
The pitching's probably good enough.
But, I mean, it'd be sweet, you know, one of those magical runs that, you know, even if they were to get to the ALCS, you know what I mean? Like, that would be awesome. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
That'd be super awesome.
You know, but if they don't do anything and they just stick to what they think is going to happen, I'll be okay with it. I don't want them to sell major pieces. You know, I don't want them to get rid of Kerry Carpenter. I don't want them to get rid of Matt Manning and they're obviously not going to get rid of Riley Green or Torkelson, but you know, not doing anything is probably better than selling a ton of stuff.
It's fair.
So that's me.
Dean.
Like you said, I don't really know who they would be able to buy to really up the batting average or the batting lineup or whatever, or who they would even give to up it, because you'd have to give up, I mean, some of your better guys just to get one guy. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'd love to. I'd love for them, like you said, I would love for them to buy, but I just don't know who they would go for or what, you know. So the only thing I could really think of is if they're going to sell, I mean, they should sell, obviously Rodriguez should be the number one look, because I mean, this is one of those years where he's just out of he's having like an Anibal Sanchez type of season where he's killing it, and then who knows what happens after this. He's never been, you know, a 2.2 ERA guy before, you know what I'm saying? So if you're going to sell him high and try to get every prospect you possibly can out of him, if you're going to sell. But like you said, you're only 5-6 games back. So if I mean, you could stay put. I mean, let the young guys develop. Hopefully Max Clark kind of rides through the system super fast. Maybe he's a generational talent.
Rare.
You never know.
It's rare to happen. You know,
rare.
I mean, we had like Bryce Harper do it.
Right.
Within a couple years. Who's that guy that was with the Cubs? Chris Bryant.
Yep.
You know, but even they held him back
Trout.
because of team control stuff, you know, like, you know, contract situation. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
So. Well, yeah, I mean, I was looking at it, and ESPN put out a thing today. I was looking at it was good timing considering what we're doing. They had, you know, our postseason odds they have at 1.3%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and their suggestion, because they did a thing on the 9 bubble teams for the playoffs, their suggestion was actually Bill's. And it wasn't his suggestion, but his thought was stand pat, is what they said. They thought they should just stand pat. I've got a few things here that I want to unravel because it's
Let me talk to you.
let me talk to you. Yeah. We released Scope. He obviously cleared waivers. It would have been nice if we could have traded him, but at the same time, nobody's trading for a guy who's hitting 204, where that's still owed over $3 million this year. I mean, that's why nobody claimed him on waivers. That's why we couldn't trade him. Yeah, I know. Crazy. Realistically, we probably should sell some. Realistically. But again, like I've said before, I wonder if it's the only way Chris Ilitch would open up the checkbook. I don't, he just hasn't shown it. I mean, you look at the numbers, man. The league average in payroll is 161 million. That's what the average is among all the teams. We're at 123, which is 19th in the league. And you think about it, we got 30 mil coming off with Miggy next year. Probably Erod if he opts out, if we still have him, that's another 15 to 16. That puts us at 78 million in payroll right now. And I'm worried that we're not even going to get back up to 123.
Right, man.
Going into the next season. It's like you can't compete that way. And you hope that Scott Harris isn't having to fight Chris Ilitch to spend cash. Unless this is Scott Harris's plan. But I can't imagine his whole plan is like, let's just be terrible and buy the lowest possible guys that money can get and hope it works out. We're not Moneyball. We don't have to be Moneyball, dude. We're, we do pretty good. But if we do sell, I wish to God we could sell Javi Baez. And an albatross of a freaking contract we got with that guy. He is easily, statistically, obviously I wrote some stuff down here, one of the worst players in baseball. And at minimum, the worst value in baseball. At $23 million a year, we get a 220 batting average, which is good for 136 out of 150 players. A 254 OBP, which is last out of the 150 players. A 321 slugging, which is 147 out of 150. 575 OPS, which is 149 out of 150. But, he does have a positive 0.2 WAR, which puts him at 291st.
What's positive?
Out of the 150, they did 150 players because you had to have at least 3.1 plate appearances per game to get in that average. So, and then you just go to July, he's hitting 167, 186 OBP, 262 slugging, 448 OPS. Like he just gets worse as time moves forward. It's like if there's anybody that would take him for like a bucket of baseballs, like take that deal. If somebody would just take his contract, but who would do that? If you just,
Dude swings at everything.
I'm just a dude talking to my brothers, and I can tell you how bad he is looking at his numbers. Like I'm pretty sure those guys know he's doing pretty bad too. So if there's anything, I mean, even if you could just give him away for half of his contract, you almost got to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's, right. I mean, I just had to go on a Javi Baez tangent because it's just like, what a terrible, terrible decision. Did you guys ever see that thing that there was a piece written in The Athletic about when Al Avila was the GM? How if he called other GMs were like rushing to the phone because they knew they were about to fleece him. Like literally, like we're excited to see him call
Oh,
because
Hal,
they
how's it
knew they
going,
were
bud?
about to just destroy this deal.
Yeah,
Like
checks out.
it really does.
Yeah.
So if we sell, I just had to get those shots in. If we sell Lorenzen, Lorenzen's a good sell. He just came off his All-Star appearance. He's on a 1-year deal anyway. He's 31, so how much more are you going to get out? This is as high as he's going to be, right?
Right.
Probably.
Yeah.
This is probably as high as it's going to be. We're probably not going to get a lot, but we get something.
Right.
More than what we're going to get out of him in the future, I'm sure. Lang, I'd hate to see that go, but he probably gives us our biggest return. And that's a lot of it is because of his contract situation. Like he's not even arbitration eligible till 2025. He'll be a free agent in 2028, which obviously makes him very attractive to the other teams, other contenders. And he's been a pretty not lights out, but a really good reliever closer so far. So somebody's going to be looking for that.
Right.
Erod obviously makes sense because you would imagine he's going to opt out because he'll never get paid more than he will after this year.
For sure.
I mean, he won't. I mean, he was 15, 16 mil right now. You know, he wouldn't be a free agent, unrestricted free agent if he didn't opt out till 2027 when he'll be 34.
Right.
So he's obviously going to opt out. And whether we're paying him or somebody else is paying him, it'll probably be somebody else. So you might as well ship him out. So it's like a couple guys. I'd hate to lose Lang because if our young guys start coming through, that's obviously a super valuable piece to have a closer, solid reliever at the end of, especially given the contract, how nice that is.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, if you're going to move guys, I think Lorenzen and Erod are probably the guys. And I think they probably should move them. Unless they buy. And try to make a push for the division.
It's
right.
But realistically, they're not going to make the playoffs. Almost certainly they're not going to make the playoffs. I think Minnesota and Cleveland both have better rosters in general. If they buy a little, they're probably they're going to be enough.
Right.
For us not to catch. And so I think if we can get something for Erod and Lorenzen, I think that'll at least give us something in the future because both those guys are probably gone.
Right.
Anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So.
All right.
Anyway, there you go. You guys awake after all that?
Yeah.
And
the
another
has
thing.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll be back next week before the deadline. So moving forward, Lions training camp starts soon, which is getting me a little excited for football season.
Don't stand up.
Wait. yeah. You don't. Good thing this camera is top half heavy. So with that said, I have here that we were going to talk about position battles, what you're looking out, what you're excited for, and so I kind of wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that.
What am I excited for? Like position?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Gets the tingles going down low.
Yeah. What's
There's quite a few things that as I've gotten older, there's just more things.
disturbing and more things.
Adult things. I mean, when you look up and down the roster, mean, there's position battles all over the roster. There's only a few spots that are
QB number one,
guaranteed.
right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, JG is locked in at quarterback. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I thought that was the biggest battle.
Yeah. Who's the other backup besides Hendon?
Sudfeld.
Did they?
Sudfeld.
Yeah, they re-signed Sudfeld.
Yeah, Nate
right.
Sudfeld.
Yeah. What a battle.
The kid's good. Hey, I saw that they're liking what he's doing.
Yeah, I bet he's holding that clipboard.
I mean, they're not going to be like,
real
this kid
good.
is sucking ass.
Yeah.
Oh, OTAs. We can't get rid of this guy soon enough.
I would say probably the one I'm most excited about is the linebacker position battle. Obviously, Anzalone is going to be the number one. I mean, as much as people might hate it, he was our best nickel linebacker and played 75% of the snaps in nickel formation. So he's going to be the main guy, and you're going to see it a lot on the field. So it comes down to who the other linebacker is going to be in the nickel formation. And obviously it's Rodriguez, Barnes, or Jack Campbell currently. So there's an argument to be made for all of them. I mean, obviously Rodriguez played awesome last year as a 6th-round rookie, made the all-rookie team, whatever, but no big deal. And Kelvin Shepard has been saying that Derek Barnes looks like a completely different player this year than he has in the past, and that they constantly see growth in him. I mean, it does seem like he seems to get a little bit better every year, but I mean, I think he's going to end up being the odd man out on that. And then Jack Campbell, I mean, we haven't seen him play other than in college, obviously. I mean, dude's 6'5", 245. I mean, and you can't teach that. You know what I'm saying? You can't teach that.
Love it. Love it.
And he was the 1st-round pick, so obviously he's being groomed to be the guy there, either be Anzalone's slot or he takes over Rodriguez. I mean, you'll get a good mix of all of them, but
they're constantly.
I think that's a good one to really look at. I think that's the biggest position battle.
Let me brush your hair, Jack.
Have currently, yeah. So that's the one I'm most excited. I mean, there's a few other ones, but
I'm with you. I'm with you because I actually learned a little bit about the old linebacking core and what Detroit uses, and I was reading that they use a 4-2-5, and they have so I always saw like the Mike linebacker. I've always seen the Sam linebacker. Never really like completely understood what it was. But so I guess like Anzalone's like mainly the Mike linebacker, which is like the strong side linebacker. But he can play the will as well, which is like supposedly the will linebacker is like a more versatile, smaller linebacker, whereas the and they said that's where Malcolm was, Rodrigo. That's where he was a lot last year. I would assume that eventually it will be Rodrigo and Campbell, right? I mean, that's what you kind of hope for.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
That's what you kind of hope for.
Yeah.
But I guess the Sam linebacker is like the pass rusher. So they were saying that when they do that the Sam is usually mainly pass rushing. So that brings in, they were talking about how Houston will sometimes be that linebacker, which will take away some opportunity from the others. So that's all that to say, that's my like what I'm gonna really be looking at and see. And like Dean said, I mean, Dean, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with Barnes and Rodrigo, and I really think it'll probably be. There was one other guy, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but he was from Saginaw Valley. But they're saying he's definitely going to be on the practice squad.
Right.
But yeah, I'd say Rodriguez and Derek Barnes is going to be the one to watch. You know what, and that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome if Shepard is true to what he's saying, and not just trying to keep Barnes happy.
Right.
That's exciting to see, because I think we've been waiting on that for a little bit now.
Yeah.
And
he did look better last year than he did, the
Yeah.
year prior. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what you hope for.
Right. I think the only other one would be right guard. Be interesting to see how that turns out. If he's healthy, I think it'll be Vitae. And then you just use Glasgow as, I mean,
Backup center and guard.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know how many times Ragnow's been hurt. I don't know if it's been every season. Almost, it feels like it's been every season where he's been out for a little bit of time.
Close to it.
Yeah. And to have Glasgow there just in case for center and guard is a nice thing to have. Yeah. So
when he was in Detroit the first time, I always thought he was a better center than he was a guard.
Yeah,
personally, but
I almost think that's not exclusively, but the main reason they brought Glasgow in was to be that backup center for Ragnow, either to give him a spell or to be there when almost certainly Ragnow's going to be down for a couple of games. But maybe with changing the field that we play on, maybe that's going to help his toe, which seems to be his big bugaboo. But yeah. I think Colby Sorsdahl might end up being our solid backup right guard, and I think Glasgow's going to be the floater, because he can play any position, and I feel like Sorsdahl.
Right.
As you said, I think maybe it was week one episode. I don't know, but I thought he probably projected more as a guard, and we were talking maybe he's a tackle because of his size, but I feel like those lower division guys usually end up projecting as better guards. I think it's more of a speed thing, but
and let's face it,
I think
it's inevitable that Vitae gets hurt too. I mean, so
unfortunately, certainly,
it's inevitable.
Because like when we talked about during that same episode I referenced, I mean, Vitae is the best right guard we have when healthy.
Yeah,
and I don't think there's any question about that. He's a good freaking offensive lineman. He just can't stay on the field. So,
what are you excited about? What gets you tingly, huh?
We already know the. It's usually when a lady brings her hand. When we're talking about the Lions, obviously, the big one is the linebacker. I mean, which is crazy because there's a lot of positions that felt like would have been up in the air not very long ago. But with the linebacker position, I think if we can go 4-3, I think that's what they would love to do. And like you said, they do a lot of 4-2-5. But 4-3 is ideal because you have more versatility. And I think against Kansas City, we'll probably see more of that based on how much I like to go over the middle, as long as we're not bringing our safeties up. Because if we bring our safeties up, Pat Mahomes is going to go deep. You'll hear him talk about that in that quarterback show, which is what made me think about that right now. I'm like, yeah, don't bring the safeties up because he's just going to launch it. But I like, in that scenario, I like Anzalone as our weak side linebacker because he does have that more versatility. He's kind of that guy. I think he's been enough games to where there isn't many moments that are too big for him, So I think you see, and he's a captain, obviously he's a trusted guy.
Now, when you say that, he'd have to cover passing routes.
I don't love it, but for week one, he probably should be.
Yeah.
I would love it if Campbell was ready.
Yeah.
But that's a big
I
game,
mean,
a
you
big
never
moment.
know.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
From there, like you were saying, I was going to highlight that too. Is the strong side is usually a pass rushing situation. So I was like, James Houston is going to be. I would hope would be that guy on pass rush downs if they're going to run that 4-3. And then it really brings it down to Campbell, Barnes, and Rodrigo. I think in general, Rodrigo probably is that strong side person until it's a pass rush down. I don't. He played well, but I think during the season, especially towards the later half of the season, he was pretty okay.
Yeah.
I think
Rookie-
he's a hard nosed player, and
Rookie
he's going
wall.
to give you, he's going to
Yeah.
give you everything he's got. I think there's a lot more to be seen whether he's a three down linebacker in the NFL for a long term. And so that's where you got guys like Jack Campbell coming in. You got Derek Barnes. I saw the same thing from Calvin Shepard. He thinks Derek Barnes is taking that step, and I want to buy in. But I mean, we were just at that. You remember, we're at that game. Like if I'm up in the stands and I'm saying, "Hey, this play is going to go to Derek Barnes, and he needs to stop this," and then he misses it, like he's got to see that. Just some random dude up in the stands can't see it. If I saw it, the defensive coordinator saw it, his linebacker coach saw it, everybody saw it except Derek Barnes. And that's the issue.
Right.
So
It's like
once he
Jared
gets
Davis
there,
is
yeah, man. I mean, once he gets there, he could be pretty elite. He's got everything. Like you see him make some freaking sick plays last year, man.
Yeah.
I mean, hit the gap perfect, make a big run stuffing freaking tackle in the backfield, and you're like, wow, like he's got it. And then the next play, he runs the opposite way of the play. You're like,
Right.
what are you doing? So
what happened there? Yeah.
After the linebacker, stay with defense. It's like, who's going to be the next guy after Mosley? Is it Will Harris? Is it Jerry Jacobs? I love Jerry Jacobs because of the fire and the chip on his shoulder, I think, from being that guy.
Yeah.
He's talking a lot of trash this offseason, but hopefully we can cash those checks. And then, I mean, why not?
Sorry, who was that?
Jerry Jacobs.
Jerry Jacobs.
Oh, yeah.
Jinx.
All good. I mean, he's going to be playing. After
Yeah.
that, we're just talking about little things here and there. Like, is Antoine? I feel like Antoine Green's probably going to make the team. We'll see what happens in preseason, especially with Cephas gone.
Right.
J-Mo out for 6 games. I'd like to see what he can do. And the last running back spot, Craig Reynolds is a team guy. I think we saw that on Hard Knocks last year.
Yeah.
They really loved the guy as a guy. And so you're probably looking between Jamar Jefferson and Ibrahim Muhammad. Muhammad's probably just an upgraded Jefferson and younger. I hate to say it like that, but But I'm not excited about those either. It's just like that's just going to be what it is. You got to hope. Like I hope we're not down to Muhammad and Reynolds, except for just to get in there, run a couple. I mean, he could, but they're obviously not Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Of course,
I'd love it if they were.
Yeah, no kidding.
But they're probably not.
No, brother.
One battle that I think that I just thought of was kicker.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that till just now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Badgley, Patterson, and then
Parker,
that XFL kicker,
yeah,
John Parker Roman.
So that'll be interesting too.
I still am. The Riley Patterson trade still just doesn't make a ton of sense.
I hear you.
I get it.
He's a good played pretty good.
I know Patterson's not even predicted to win the job. That's where it's like kind of like
that was.
Anything can happen in preseason. Yeah,
Maybe it's one of those I owe you a little something.
Yeah,
Who
I
knows?
guess.
I mean, who knows?
Right.
You at least got a challenge badgely. Like they do that in almost
They
every.
do like the competition. That's true. And Patterson's more, but you gave up a draft pick for him though. Given it was a seventh or a sixth or whatever it was, but still.
Hey, dude, BDB.
Yeah.
You know he'll get that seventh back if he wants it.
Yeah.
He'll get a
He'll
seventh
get it
back.
back. Okay, you're right.
You're right, dog. They'll just do a trade swap, a third round trade swap. Well, he'll go back to and he'll pick up a seventh.
And then he'll pick up a seventh. Yeah, right.
I was gonna say
they'll flop third rounders and he'll get a seventh back.
I was gonna say he's probably just gonna trade him back to Jacksonville.
They're gonna get a fifth round pick
for a higher pick.
They're like, you know what, we messed up. There is one more position battle at the opposite edge spot of Aiden Hutchinson. You got Charles Harris, Houston, Paschal, Kaminsky, and Romeo Aquara. All somewhat vying for that spot, given Kaminsky and Paschal can both move inside. They're both pretty versatile players in that sense. But, I mean, who do you go with? Do you go with Romeo, who got you 10 sacks a couple years ago, earned him that big contract? Charles Harris, who had that big season, but then got hurt as well. And then, James Houston played awesome last year in 7 games. But then people are saying he's not a 3-down player, like you were saying about Rodrigo. So who do you go with? I mean, I think Harris is slated as the starter currently, but obviously this is before anything. But I don't know.
I would think they'll probably keep Houston in the role that he's in. Right. I think that's how they'll probably do it. And then, man, I mean, it's almost with Romeo and Charles Harris. I think it's kind of the same, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're both coming off injury. They both had good seasons just not that long ago.
I think Romeo... I don't. When Romeo came back last season, towards the end of the year, he played pretty well.
Yeah,
so.
And he took a pay cut, to stick around.
Yeah,
I think it's all. I think it's all out there. Honestly, I think if Romeo's healthy, he's the guy at that position. Charles Harris wasn't super hurt all year, and Kaminsky played a lot over him. I think Harris is just kind of fallen back a little. I'd let I mean, we'll see. If he takes a little, steroids or performance enhancing stuff. I mean, a little something. He could probably. I mean, because he was an all-pro type of guy. I don't know if he got all-pro, but he was legit dude for quite some time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like Charles Harris. I liked it when they brought him in. I think he's been great for that room. But I think in general, it's probably Aquara, then Kaminsky. Houston is more that pass rushing specialist linebacker position. That's where you want him because he's not a huge dude. So you have Kaminsky kind of, or whoever, taking up that guard tackle situation, and Houston just has to beat one guy on that side, whether that's off of Hutch or whoever's playing the other defensive end. Now, I remember seeing some highlights of Houston, and dude can make some freaking moves. So, I mean, he could line up and do it, but I don't think that's what you're hoping for out of him on an every down basis.
At some point, I think have to stay put and muscle which I'm not saying he can't do that, but
I mean,
at the end.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, they're not going to have to. I don't think they're going to try and ask him to do it. I mean, unless he just falls into that.
Right.
But he's going to be an off the edge linebacker, slotted pass rusher,
and that's where
really good for that. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And I think that's what makes it so nice is that they have they have these options now.
Yeah.
You know,
Depth
they don't
really
need
what you're seeing, yeah.
right. They don't need Houston to play 3 downs.
Right.
You know, which is awesome.
You think if
So-
they can get back to the QB at even at the rate they did last year, which wasn't a high rate compared to most of the NFL, but
Right.
a higher rate than we've had for some time with the improved secondary.
Yeah.
Another offseason for McNeil.
It's like, come on,
Yeah.
AG. You gotta. This is it. I mean, there's stuff to be done with the guys, the personnel, the packages.
Yeah.
And Aaron Glenn's too smart and too seasoned of a NFL person to let this opportunity go. I feel like, but
And you know, we talked about it before too, is that if you base the defense off where it started to where it ended last year, yeah, I mean they finished last in categories, but a lot of that was the first half of the year.
Right.
And you saw the development of all the young guys, at least with Hutch, Houston, McNeil looked better towards the end of the year. Even Isaiah Bugs looked pretty good towards the end of the year
gotta
too.
love Bugs.
I do.
Yeah.
I love me
Yeah.
Isaiah Bugs. You know, so man, with that secondary now,
No doubt. McNeil's got to take a step. He takes a step. I think Pascal probably gets more play inside based on the guys we were talking about. And I think that'd be good for just to get that work in. Hopefully Anzaworke gets worked in. If every guy can stay a little fresh-ish.
Yeah. And people
they
high
could be
on
cooking,
Broderick
man.
Martin.
I mean, oh yeah, Broderick Martin.
Yeah. People are high on
That's
him
a first
too.
down D tackle, man.
Yeah. 6'5",
Run, stop,
330. Dude's massive.
And
All our guys are
you
6'5". Yeah, you can't teach that. Legit.
So, yeah, a lot to be excited for, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
all right. Well, this brings us to our last segment of the night. Ironically, not 4 hours in. So so we are going with this or that this week, and still working on that new segment.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Stay on your toes. It could be coming anytime.
Yeah. Any week. This is what keeps you listening.
You don't want to miss it.
You know?
So, all right. So I got a couple good ones. I got 4 of them. A couple of them be pretty quick. It's this or that. So, first one we got today is a McDonald's hash brown or Burger King tots.
Well, I mean, it's essentially the circle hash browns, right?
Yeah.
Those. I'll go with those. Burger King.
Those little
all day.
spheres.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
You get more of them.
Do you get more? What's the weight?
I mean,
what's the net weight?
no matter how many, if you order any size hash brown, it's coming out that same size at McDonald's. You're only changing your drink size. But at Burger King,
a little biased opinion there.
Oh, I love Burger King.
Burger King breakfast.
Burger King everything. I like it all. Give it all.
I'll probably go with McDonald's hash brown.
Boo!
It's a classic.
That, man.
It's good every time. I've had some
delicious.
pretty rough Burger King hash brown spheres before. You never know what you're getting because you know at BK, bro, you either run to the happy people or freaking fresh out,
dice.
motherfucker. You know, and he didn't care that he cooked them babies 2 minutes too long. So, I'm gonna go based on consistency. I'm going to go with a McDonald's hash brown.
It is a very consistent hash brown.
It's extremely consistent. Yeah. And it is delicious.
I will go with the BK the BK spheres.
You son of a! You led me on.
No, they're like Dean said. You can get a large one, you can get a small one, you can get a medium one, and usually they're pretty. They aren't consistent like McDonald's, but they're usually pretty good.
Yeah, I'm a quantity over quality guy.
Yeah.
Give me a lot of bad.
If you've ever seen me stand up on this webcam, you'll notice that I like quantity over quality.
I can get 8 Whopper Juniors for 2 Big Macs. What do you think I'm going to do? And I can rub the mayo all over myself.
They do put a lot of mayo on it.
They do.
It's true. That is true.
I'm not saying I hate it.
No,
All right. So next one we got.
Clearly.
If you could pick one for your football team, Shane Falco or Willie Beeman?
I'm going Willie Beeman.
Corn cream.
You know, Falco, I've only seen him do it against mostly replacement players. He had one game against full-time starters. Willie Beeman did it every week. 3rd string. He had to play corner, messed up his shoulder as a rookie.
Couldn't find his helmet.
You know, he took on the job in Albuquerque, no questions asked.
Yeah. Plus, you don't know if Falco is going to be throwing the game or not. So,
Ooh,
yeah.
Great.
That Sugar Bowl, man. That Sugar
Shaving
Bowl.
points.
Can't forget that Sugar Bowl. Yeah, Willie Beeman for sure. Corn cream.
Too dynamic.
Oh man, I'm with Willie Beeman too. All right, next one. Would you rather win the Royal Rumble or win the Money in the Bank briefcase?
Like as a fan or as like a wrestler?
As a fan, they're probably gonna beat you up and tell you.
Like in the mindset, I'm talking mindset
Sir,
wise. Like, I mean, am I in the mindset of a wrestler or am I in the mindset of like a fan? Like, you know, like am I hitting the grind?
Aren't most
day
wrestlers
on the
also
road?
fans?
Maybe. I mean, I assume eventually you become.
Well, you tell us.
You're in it.
You tell us. I mean, what's the difference for you?
I am getting in. I am going to Ohio here soon.
Yeah. I'm gonna hop in the ring.
I've been dropping elbows on the bed recently, just trying to get it.
So for you though, what would you think? I mean, does it make a difference for you if you think about it differently?
I think so. I think as a fan, I think I like the Money in the Bank more.
So that's what you would choose personally.
That's what I would choose personally because it's just I don't know. It's just more high profile to me. But the Royal Rumble is more historic, and on top of it, as a wrestler, you're less likely to have to get thrown through a ladder. So, I imagine, like, you know, going over the top rope ain't that bad. And you
Fair enough.
you win it too. So everybody wins in that one. But you Money in the Bank, you're definitely going through quite a few things from a high distance. So that's where I was like,
It's a good point. Yeah. Good point.
Eddie?
I like Money in the Bank. Maybe it is a fan thing. I don't know. He's called me out as a mark now. So I would say Money in the Bank because it like the excitement of like you can cash it. Like the hard part is winning it. Right? That's the trial you got to go through, you know, getting slammed onto a ladder, probably through a table at some point, you know, maybe tossed from the top of the ladder to outside the ring. All the terrible things that could happen in a match. But you can cash it in anytime, which is a huge pop. A big moment. And it can be anytime. You could do it at WrestleMania.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's just any any scenario, and it's cool whenever it happens. You show up at Raw like after like Roman Reigns has just got done with the match, and you just stand at the top of the, in front of the Titantron, and everybody's like, oh, and then you don't cash it in.
And then you don't get
You show up at
today.
SmackDown the next night, same situation. I mean, and every time you're like, oh,
Right. But you came through
so it's
the
a
crowd
cool
this time.
situation. Yeah.
No,
It's
I'm
a cool
with you.
situation.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm with you. I think I'd go Money in the Bank because yes, it'd be awesome to win the Royal Rumble and you get to choose your match, right?
But wouldn't you
And-
rather win the Andre the Giant Battle Royale?
Of course.
Sorry, I had to get that.
Throw me in for King of the Ring while we're at it too.
Yeah.
They're historically great after that. After they win that.
Yeah, right.
Money in the Bank because like you said, it's super exciting, right? And you can choose whatever title you want when you want. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You usually have to call out your match when you win the Royal Rumble, which you're going to win but you got to choose one title. Right. Whereas Money in the Bank, if you want to waste it on the US title, go for it,
Dude.
Did they do
Everybody
that one
knows
time?
what Vince McMahon thinks of you if you cash in Money in the Bank on the US
US
or the
title.
IC, the 24/7.
Oh man,
Cash it in on the 24/7. Woof.
Oh, you don't even need to cash it in on that. You just go for it.
Just like, I'm wasting it right here.
So yeah, Money in the Bank for me. All right, last one. And what I have here
let me get one in after you do.
Okay. All right. Would you rather be homeless or would you rather go to prison?
How long do I have
prison?
Prison.
Max security, worst level security. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Okay.
Like one where I have to join.
You're in Gen Pop in a maximum security prison.
Oh
man. No, I would say probably the equivalent to being homeless. Okay. So not max security where you're locked down 24 hours. Like you get your meals, you get to congregate with people.
Like a minimum.
We'll go minimum. Yeah, minimum security.
Minimum security prison.
Yeah, not like country club jail like rich people get, but not.
I can't have a TV in my cell.
Not pound me in the butt prison.
I mean, that could be any prison.
I'd rather do that.
The minimum?
Yeah.
How long do I have to be homeless?
Minimal security. I mean, you're not typically in there with all the crazies.
And am I homeless after I get out of prison?
Get all the meals in prison.
I'd rather already be homeless at that point.
No, because then when you get out of prison, like if you're especially minimal security, you go to a halfway house, they can try to setting you up with a job. Like they're trying to get you going back in life when you go back, as opposed to homeless, you're just stuck where you're at until you make your own moves.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like for me, like I'd almost go homeless because I've thought about this before. Like you start off right off the exit of a highway, you get some money. You gotta.
How much?
Well, I don't know. As much as you can make.
5 bones.
You gotta put your pride aside, get that going, and just start building from there.
Just get you a set of knee
It's gonna be hard, but do I really want? But if I'm in prison, something else is gonna be hard. And
well, minimum probably.
We're too pretty.
You're gonna be hard in prison?
No, not me. Not me. But I'm 5'4". So
perfect.
I don't know, minimum security, you don't see a ton of that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Minimum. But I mean,
You
it
at
could
least have an
happen.
opportunity to get reset and go back, as opposed to homeless, dude. You really gotta get yourself turned around.
Right. Yeah, I'd go homeless.
Oh, still going homeless.
He's still going
I'm not.
Nobody's thinking nothing to me.
Dude, that
I
happens
don't
to
care.
homeless people too. If you don't
It's
find yourself in
true.
a little homeless community.
Yeah, except now it'll stink way worse, probably.
Jeez.
It'll be a lot worse.
All right, Eddie, what's yours?
All right. So I was looking at BD Sports Talk podcast on TikTok, and the Cade Cunningham
Follow.
video came up. Yeah, give it a follow. And I thought this would be kind of funny. And I still haven't even come up with an answer myself. So play 1v1 against Cade in a full arena while it being broadcast on ESPN, while you're also skins to 21 with only 1-pointers. Okay. And if
pointers?
1-pointers.
That's rough.
Even if you hits a 3, it's still 1 point at a time. And if there's if the ref decides you're not playing as hard as you can, you have to start over. So you have to play hard the whole time. One-on-one, no shirt against Cade in front of the nation. Or you have a full gallery at Augusta, also nationally televised, and you have to play 18, and you're the only one playing, but everybody watches every shot that you play at Augusta from start to finish.
I feel bad for those people.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
getting
man,
hit with a
that's
ball. They're getting hit with a ball.
The
guys might wanna
gallery's
move.
just following you the whole time.
Dude, there's nobody else playing, so they're just following the full gallery. Everybody's following you for every shot.
We paid $300
And everybody
to
in
watch
the
this guy.
everybody in the world is also watching.
every
You
shot.
play
Every shot, they're just like, oh, like.
Oh. Yeah, I'm playing from the other fairway again.
He just 3-putted again.
The other fairway.
I'm trying to play it over there. It's a good angle.
I don't see the out of bounds stakes.
I'm
over
preparing for when I get to this fairway.
Does this guy not slice? So
All right,
everybody
so-
watches you shoot a 140 to 150 at Augusta. Or you're one-on-one against Cade with no shirt on. Or you have to play as hard as you can.
Me, I'm going to Augusta. For one, no one needs to see me shirtless. That's for starters.
Dude, it's just so funny
Two.
to think about.
Two Cade's what, like 6'7"?
Yeah. You
Bill's
gotta
throwing
bottom
back and down.
like you have to play hard the whole way, or else they start the game over.
Yeah, no. I'll just go to Augusta. I'll get to play Augusta for a round. I'm sorry to everybody that's got to watch me 3 and 4 putt these greens.
Every shot. 150 strokes.
150, yeah. I'm hitting a 200.
Watching you walk it.
It's a par 4.
The shame. That is the walk of shame.
Every hole.
Every hole. You dong out a couple.
No, hey, here's
Like
Sleeper
he
on
didn't
his
hit it in front
second
of the
shot.
ladies' tees.
It's a par 4. He's still 270 out.
Sleeper for +9.
Through 3.
Oh man.
No, I meant on one hole. +9.
Is it okay for me to say mark me down for a 10?
What's the
Yeah.
max
No.
out here? Is there?
No, there is no max. Every stroke.
Do I get a caddy?
Oh man.
No.
No. You gotta
I
carry
gotta
your
carry
bag.
my own clubs.
You carry in your clubs. It's your club, so it's backpack style. It's basically you playing 18, except at Augusta, and now you have a full gallery, and they're broadcasting it on ESPN.
You gotta play from the tips.
Oh, you play from where the pros play.
Oh God. Oh,
It's gonna be such a long day.
be so
It's
tired.
Gonna, tell you what,
This will not
The
end
thing is-
quickly. I am not your king.
I would say I would go with the basketball, but the problem is that eventually I'm going to get tired. They're going to be like, "Oh, you're not playing as hard as you can." Then I'm going to have to start over. They're going to do that a lot because I'm going to be completely gassed by the time we get to 5. By the time he gets to 5 points, because he's going to be scoring every bucket. I mean, I'm not going to score unless he lets me shoot from NBA 3. So I'm going to go Augusta as well. I'm already a terrible golfer. People see me play terribly already.
I'm going
It's,
1-on-1.
I
I'm
just
probably
don't think I
gonna
have the
win.
stamina.
I'm probably gonna win based on Cade being grossed out having to play me shirtless.
Backing him down.
Dude, yeah, dude,
Just
I will. I'm gonna put my
dripping.
whole freaking back into that.
Just
Is it sweating
dripping.
back there, Cade?
Just so
And honestly, if he goes, I mean, the longest this is gonna take is 15 minutes. Because he's just gonna score every time, even playing as hard as I possibly can.
Is it
He's
make
gonna
it
score
take it?
every time he has the ball. No. No, you switch it up every time. It can't be that easy.
You go up for a layup, he punches you. He's like, is that a foul? No, man, you're good.
Yeah, all clean.
It's clean, baby. It's clean.
Kate ain't gotta
Oh,
do that. You
ball.
just block it.
Yeah.
He won't even have to
jump.
jump to block my shot.
Get out of here.
Get that shit out of here, man. Wait till the next possession, man.
That's a good one.
Wait till I get the ball back, Cade.
Open from 3 again, Cade.
Leave me open one time.
He's like, I did
So.
3 times already.
I wasn't warmed up yet.
So, all right. Well, that was good. I like that one. That was a good
That
one.
was good, yeah.
That was good.
Sports related.
Yeah, I know, right? That's my bad. Oh. I've been thinking about doing a sports edition one, and I'm like, yeah, that's why I kind of put Falco and Beeman in there, kind of mix it up a little bit. So
yeah, it's good.
But all right, well, I enjoyed that. So, with this, I saw you laughing. With that said, I think that will do it for tonight. You guys have anything to add before we get out of here? I'll probably cut this part.
I got a few stats here I wanted to go over before we close this baby down.
I actually got one more position battle that I can.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about.
You know what?
Yeah.
Cliffhanger for next week.
Practice squad, backup quarterback.
Really, no kidding.
I hear this kid from Saginaw Valley is a really good quarterback for the practice squad.
Heck yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Appreciate it. And like, comment, subscribe. And we will see you next week. Have a good one.
Sports Talk.
Boom.